Estamos de regreso a Virtual Educa 2016. Now, I have the pleasure to introduce you the Ambassador, Dr. Neil Parson. He is the Executive Secretary for Integral Development at the Organization for American States. We would like to know, Mr. Ambassador, according to the Sustainable Development Goals, what is the organization doing in order to implement its 2030 agenda?
That's a good question, and firstly, let me start by saying thank you very much for the opportunity to have this engagement with you and to
Thank
put
you.
Agenda 2030 into perspective and what it really means for the hemisphere. As you know, having these countries ratify the goals in September 2015, out of the 17 goals, the OES is in a very good position to deliver on almost all of the goals. And this particular environment that we're in, dealing with education and innovation, education literally touches on almost all of the goals indirectly and directly on several of the goals. So at the OES, we have been spending a great deal of time mainstreaming the concept of the Sustainable Development Goals and what can the organization do as a unit to really deliver on the goals, but more importantly, deliver on the motto of the organization, which is linked directly to the Sustainable Development Goals, which is more rights for more people. And if I may give you an example, for example, in education, we have been looking at human development, education, and its linkages with labor, competitiveness, development of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, all with the intention of leveraging opportunities for economic development. Without economic development, there is no sustainable development. Without sustainable development, there is no prosperity for us. So we have been really making efforts to mainstream our work along those functional lines.
And now you're like about less than 50 years toward this project, and that's a huge project and a lot of objectives. So which one is the most important one that you are like focused on that?
Well, they're all important, but we, first of all, 15 years is a very short space of time to deliver it. So it's incumbent on all countries to really incorporate the concept of the Sustainable Development Goals inherently into their national development plans. And our focus really from an OES standpoint will be directly linked to the pillars of the organization, which is security, preservation of democracy, ensuring human rights, and looking at the concept of development. Or development, we can break development down into several components that we feel we are very comfortable in delivering. Human development, education, elements of competitiveness, entrepreneurial activity, small and micro-sized, medium-sized enterprise development, sustainable energy, sustainable cities, water resources management, development cooperation, and productive employment is an area. So we are in attempting to leverage the indicators, we are looking at what is cross-cutting, what is cross-fertilizable, and where can we break down the silos and functionalize it along the themes that I've just listed.
Okay. So this work is going to be through stages.
Of course.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador.